I'm rich, I'm famous, I got well beyond my means, then why am I suffering in silence? There's several whys, and we hear a lot about everybody own terms of mental health. But when you tell somebody mental health, why does it feel like it's a sickness? It's a taboo. I don't want to hear that word, because that means I need to go into the psychological ward. I need to be in a hospital. Mental health, it does not only have a chemical imbalance in the brain. It also happens because you went through a trauma. And this trauma, 99.9% of the time, the statistic has it, it's something that happens in your childhood. You suffer in silence, you're ashamed, you did not want to speak up. So you grow up into adulthood, and guess what happened? You continue suffering in silence. You do not want to see, you don't want anybody to see how broken you are. So, I've just given you a few whys. I'm pretty sure there's lots more. We've heard from a lot of great speakers today, and each one of us has an individual, authentic story to ourselves. So what is the trauma that you had faced that made you ashamed? Suffering. And there's a lot more suffering happening right now. So I can relate to some of those whys. My body went through a trauma. I suffer in silence. I did not speak up. I grew up as an adult. It took me 42 years to embrace what I've been through. After that, how do I keep carrying on? I did. I went through depression, anxiety, attempted suicide. I'm standing before you, so that means I survived. All right? But we continue to suffer because we don't know where to get that help, and there's reasons why. We're ashamed of what we went through, what have happened to us. We blame ourselves. We also don't want to be a victim again, because you're already being a victim. But you still did not know you were a victim. Then, you have to prove yourself in public that you are a victim for you to see that you need help and something has happened to you. So we again, we put our head back down and we develop the silence again internally. So why is that? Is it because we don't know where to go? I'm not going to relive in front of you what I've been through. My focus now is to help you find your inner child who went through a trauma that causes you to suffer as an adult. We all have an inner child that suffer, but most of all, presently now, there's many speakers talk about children suffering. Let's concentrate on our children today. Mother, father, teacher, neighbor, uncle. We all interact with a child in our lifetime. Would you recognize a behavioral change in your child? And if you do you know what to do? And then, would you even ask, your first question is, what's wrong with you? Wrong question. What had happened to you to cause the change in your behavior? Does that make any sense with the way you change that question? Because you're no longer blaming that child. You want to know, you want to be part of their life. As parent of a child, it doesn't matter if you're uncle and aunt, if you're responsible for a child, reach out to that child. Show them you love them. without any expectation or judgment. They do not need any more of that from you, because in the outside world, we just heard about social nervous system, they are getting enough pressure from outside sources. They don't need it from their parents. Love unconditionally and without any expectation. Can we do that for our children? Trust your child. They will come to you and they will let you know if somebody's hurting them. There's so much things going on presently now in our world that we don't want to face. We put our head in the sand because we don't know where to go. We grow up as an adult. We're suffering. And I mentioned earlier, it took me 42 years. What is each and one of us waiting for to happen, to go through, to make that change, that wanted to change? One of the things that I've done, I accept my body went through a trauma, and that was my first step of making that change. Because I accept that something has happened to me, I cannot change the past. I can learn from the past, bring it in the present towards the future. Because when you hold on to the past, what you see, I'm going to do a little bit of action, hopefully I can still speak in the mic. Over here, I am broken, I'm no good, and I blame and I blame. Because this is the person that I know and I'm familiar with. But that's not who we are. Over here, this is a special person, authentic. We don't focus here because we focus here. Pain, 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 that's all we know. Why would I want more? Don't want any more of that. So we're disconnected. You call it trauma self, authentic self. But how do we bring them together? Acceptance. You accept who you are, what happened to you. Take that lesson from the past. Empower yourself to the future, the present, and the future. You cannot change the past. And keep repeating that. Because one of the things that we know is that, and a lot of speakers have said it, what had happened to you as a child influenced the person you are today. I'll repeat that for you. What has happened to you in your childhood has influenced you who you are today. I'm gonna say something that Josh just says earlier. Because of something he heard at 13 years old, he lived with it as if it happened just now. So that tells you your past, you hang on to it. It's baggage, it's weight. So if you want to let it go, you need to leave it here. Embrace the two bodies, make one, and you walk. But what's going to happen to if you bring that baggage on? You're going down and you're weighing. I can't take it, instead of staying up. Who know Hunchback of Notre Dame? Who wants to be that? If you drop that baggage here, guaranteeing you lose 20 pounds. Who's looking to be on weight loss? Right? So the seriousness of trauma is, it happens to you, we can protect it, we can protect our children today. The reasons why I'm focusing on children, the children needs our protection because children are hurt. They grow up into adult and they don't know where to go. I never got helped. I never went to therapy. It took me 42 years to realize that I need to do something different with my life. I got the pleasure of having two beautiful kids that I brought up, but they see that side of me. And then one day, I need to be there for my children and my family, so I need to change. I need to see who is that person inside of me, and I find a spark of light that's within me. And I hang on that light, and I'm gonna quote, the bright shining light. That is what I found in me. It gives me that duty, that here to speak to every one of you, that we together we can find our light. Because your power that you had, you give to the past. Who wants to leave their power and who wants the power back? Okay, if you want your power back, you're gonna do this with me. You're going to, this is something that I use. I love everyone. You guys, I hate no one. I want my power back, and it's my power, no one else. Because one of the link between human rights and mental health is my body went through a trauma and my right was taken away from me. Now it's my turn to take my wherever or whomever you give it that power to. I want you to shout to the top of your lungs saying, I took my power back from whoever or wherever. Visualize who you give it to or where you left it and take it back. Would you do that with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Visualize, I take my power back
I take my power back
from whomever or wherever.
wherever
It's mine and no one else's.
it's mine and no one else.
That is my human rights.
That is
my
my
human
right.
Anytime you have a down moment, think about that. Where did I leave my power? It's yours, no one else. This I may get a little emotional here. In the world today, kids has no voice. They're violated. They have no voice. Help me be that voice. I was gonna call Valerie to help me with this part, but I changed my mind. Who knows the famous song? And I'm standing next to this here. This is a big
Imagine.
impact for me. We are the world, we are the children.
Yeah.
We make the better place for you and me. Every time I hear those words, I get goosebumps because together we can make the world a better place for each and one of us and stop the hurting of children. I'm going to mention something that Julia mentioned earlier, because this is part of my ending, is last week somebody approached me at my work. I'm in the cooperative work. And asked me if I heard about the movie Sound of Freedom. It hurts to know in this day of age, we still have to, this is happening, and there's nothing that we all can do about it, except speak out, make awareness. Children trafficking is a problem, and it's in our backyard. Be aware. Protect your children. You and me, there's nobody alike. You're authentic to your own DNA, and you're the only one who can take your power, keep your power. Somebody is hurting you, speak up. You know a child that's being hurt, speak up. Let's not take 42 years like me. Speak to somebody you trust. I value teachers' opinion, teachers' service to the bottom of my heart. It's something that a child will go through first. But we want teachers, if a teacher's hurting a child, we also want the parents to get involved. Get involved with your children. Be there for your children. I know that everybody can be there with your children because you have your job, you're single mother, all of that. That's me. But every opportunity I got, I tried. Okay? So please, if I can leave you with one thing, your power is yours and yours alone. Protect our children so that they can grow up and be the adult to make our world a better place. Thank you very much.